Good afternoon, or good evening actually, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to round 14 of the ORL season here at the infamous Monza circuit. I feel like that was a good intro. Right, so the big names joining us today, we've got Formula Danny, Williams Timp, Velociphoton, Calcifer, as always, VSR Muller, and Crow, who is now SHZ Crow. So yeah, we've also got Kane and Flex's Marcy. They're joining us once again, so watch out for them. Right, so as we head into practice now, let's get ourselves all acclimatized to everything. I've got some water here. I don't know. There's not a lot of water left. Let's try it. And this is crazy. It's raining for practice. Let me just check with the race officials what the weather is going to be for qualifying and the race. Hopefully it's dry, because the last time we had a wet race was at Silverstone and nothing happened, and the time before that it was at what's it called, Monaco. So of course nothing happened there as well, because you know you can't overtake at Monaco. We'll put on their fitty tyres for now, but we do have a full grid. I think we've got 2 spaces available. And Marek is also here. Right, hang on. Let me rewrite this out in terms of who I think my kind of predictions. Also, don't forget, guys, Emilio is returning. His first race since he left all the way back in Monaco. At Monaco, I should say. And Formula Danny has already left the session, it would seem. Let's sit on board with the man Elsinger then, as he sets. Well, he's out on track, isn't he? He's always the first man out. It's always him who is out first. Alright, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get YouTube up on my phone so I can see all of you lovely people dropping in your messages. Let's see if I can find it on YouTube. Can't find it actually just yet. Right, so let's sit on board with Elsinger as he heads through Lesmo 1 and now into Lesmo 2, dropping it down into 4th gear. Heading down the back straight, he will be the first person to cross the line. And, where's the chat? There we go. The chat is up, guys, so feel free to drop us any messages that you have, any questions about ORL, any questions about the race, etc, etc, etc. Any comments on how to improve even. So yeah, do drop in any messages that you have. But Elsinger approaching Parabolica to set in the first lap of practice here at Monza in the wet. And although, as I was saying, hopefully the race will not be wet, it'll be nice and dry, so we can see a lot more overtaking and I can scream my heart out. As Elsinger sets in a 1:30.6. Who else is out on track? Weke, Emilio is run wide, Corky, we can't see. But, oh wait, there's Williams Timp. Let's sit on board with Mr. Timp as he runs a bit wide on the exit of the Ascari chicane. He's going to break out about 18 meters, heading into Parabolica as Crow sits in at 29.7. Don't be surprised by that. Crow is ridiculously fast. You saw how quick he was back at Britain in the wet as Tim sets a 29 flat. Very quick lap, but let's sit on board with him for a full lap here at Monza. Brakes nice and early, no lock up, very nice and tidy actually. And look at him feed the power and back and stepping out, has them more under control than I do in the dry. Through the long right hander of Curva Grande, turn 3. Oh, so smooth the braking. Is a complete opposite as he touches the gravel. Somehow he holds it. And he's holding it while putting the throttle on as we head into Lesmo 1. And we've just had confirmation that the weather for the race is going to be dry or cloudy for both qualifying and the race. So we get to see a nice dry session, but it will mean that these guys won't get any practice time in dry conditions. And that's possibly why Formula Danny's left. He might have gone to his own lobby just to practice in the dry conditions. And who's that in the barrier? That's Weke. So he's lost the back end through the Ascari chicane. Right, who else can we sit on board? Let's sit on board with Crow then. Okay, here goes Tim to start a flying lap. Let's sit on board then. Brakes nice and early. Barely any lockup. I think there was a slight on the inside front tyre. But look at him feeding the power in, smacking on that rev limiter. Also, Kane's quite quick. Muller and Marek are surprisingly behind Kane. Kane did really well. He had his previous race was in France and he finished 3rd there, so he'll be expecting to do more as Tim locks up, really pushing on this lap. Look at the back end, it's crazy. How is he controlling this? What on earth? Drifting around the corners, but he does run wide this time. As Marek, let's sit on board with Marek, who's heading through Curva Grande. He's currently in 2nd place. Marek tries to get a nice run. Myler gets a slightly better exit, but let's watch him catch up through the Lesmos. Expect Myler to get out of the way after Lesmo 2, unless Myler's just focusing on his lap. Such a better exit from Marek. He's just in a different league as Crow sets a 28.4. Very, very quick. Have to be so easy on the power or through the Ascari chicane, or your back will snap on you. It snaps on you in the dry, forget about the wet. But this race could be a lot of points for Red Bull. Marek and Kane racing for Red Bull at this time out. However, Crow is back, so expect McLaren to pick up some points. And actually Mercedes, Tim is racing for Mercedes as twin barrel J not in. And Marek is unable to improve. Let's see if Mr. Crow is on a lap. He's a 10th down. Emilio is racing in that in the McLaren as well. However, Photon and Marcy both in the Ferrari, so they could pick up some points for Ferrari, but expect it's entirely possible that Renault and Calcifer will lose the lead of the Constructors' Championship here, or it will get very, very close. Calcifer currently about, sorry, not Calcifer, Renault currently about 24 points ahead of Ferrari. Mercedes another 100 points down, but a good race here could see them close that gap by about 30 or so points. Right, who can we sit on board with? Marek's on a slow lap. Kane is not on a lap. Barney's setting a quick lap. He's jumped ahead of VSR Muller. Let's sit on board with Corky then. He's a new driver. He raced with us at the ORL social event, and he actually won, beating, I think it was Myler and Weke. So he possibly has some pace. So let's keep an eye out for him. Maybe points in his first ever ORL race. Who knows? What's it going to be? It's a 33-0. It's enough for 11th. He jumps ahead of Weke, but not ahead of Toffee. No one else out. No big names. Let's ride on board with Kane, who's about to start a flying lap. He's got full earth and he pulls it all off. Hello, Mr. Felipe Nunes. Did I pronounce that right? Felipe Nunes. Nunes or Nunes? I don't know. Anyway, how are you doing, man? Are you looking forward to some online racing league? But Kane locking up into the first chicane, and that will compromise him on the exit down onto this long straight as he goes round Curva Grande now. Crow is still in the pits. Williams Tim is on an out lap, so we will switch to him as soon as Kane finishes his lap. But watch out for Crow and Tim. They are extremely quick in the wet weather. We saw Tim absolutely destroy everyone back at Silverstone, but to be fair, Formula Danny wasn't racing. Crow was there as well. He finished second, I believe, second or third. He was racing with Velocity James. Velocity James was actually at E-Rock, and he got to race with Vettel and stuff, so that was really cool. So really cool to be able to commentate on these guys, and then you look a week later and they're, you know, racing with some of the big names in F1. But here we go, Kane going through the Ascari chicane. Again, really smooth actually this last half of the lap. Williams Tim is on a flying lap, so we can sit on board. Oh, what? That is crazy how his back end is constantly stepping out. Let's sit on board with Kane though, as he completes his lap time. Also, we've got Black Panther and Barney are here, so expect Barney, Black Panther, Myler, Corky maybe, and Flex's Marcy to be battling for those final points. But Kane unable to really improve. Let's sit on board with Tip as a back end, always stepping out with Temp through the Lasmo 1. As we head down into the Ascari chicane, watch the braking point, brakes at about 120, 130 meters. Feeding the power in, and apparently no help Ita has joined. And Timp is going to back out of that. Is he going to charge up his ERS? And no help, Ita has left the session. Okay. I'm not sure if... I don't think that's someone who's supposed to be racing in ORL. But Williams Timp clearly getting himself ready for this lap. He did back out on the back straight. And still a 30.2, so it's fairly quick, considering, all things considered. But let's sit on board with a hot lap from the wet master. As I like to say, look at that lockup, but he gets it timed perfectly. Beautiful brakes. A lot of wear though on the front tires, so don't expect them to be doing that in the race if it was raining, but it won't be raining. It's set to be cloudy. We haven't had a race yet this season in ORL where we had changeable conditions. It's always stayed at one condition. Timp locking up both wheels again as he heads into the second chicane. No jury for this race actually, because he has decided to stop playing F1 2018 and focus on the games like Project Cars and Assetto Corsa. Who is this guy who keeps joining and leaving the session? But Tim is actually 8 tenths up through that second sector, so he has really been pushing. For the rate, for qualifying, expect the fastest lap to be maybe a 119, 118, because it will be dry. But if it was wet in qualifying, you'd probably see a 26, 27 as your fastest lap. Formula Danny hasn't set any time, doesn't need to because qualifying and the race are in the dry conditions, so he doesn't need to do that setup practice. Oh, that's cheeky. Oh no, he's at 27.8 and he has retired from the session after that. So a very quick lap, but he's decided he does not need to do it anymore. And here, Marek's backing out of the lap. What about Kane? Kane's still going to be pushing. Maybe he's going for a second lap. Let's see, where is the start-finish line here? I always get caught out by that. So 129, 1 from Kane. He moves up into third place. So Kane seemingly having a lot of pace here in the wet. He's only done one race with ORL previously, which was in France, where he did pick up a third place. And a good third place at that. Let's sit on board with Crow. Is he on a hot lap? No, he's not. Yeah, he's about to start a hot lap, so we can sit on board with him. Currently the fastest of practice, although Tim did do a 27.8, but it was disallowed for exceeding track limits somewhere along the line. It's a 28.4 from Crow, which is a new fast lap. Will this be... No, I don't think that's a new fast lap. It's just glitching out somewhat. Oh, look at the power being fed as he almost gets a tank slapper through Curva Grande, flat out, even in these wet conditions. But you have to get your setup right. So easy to lose your back end on this track, even under braking. Beautifully on the power from Crow as he now heads into Lesmo 1. But watch out for the Mercedes boys come qualifying. Tim and Formula Danny very, very quick. They finished first and second last time out, so watch out for that once again. Right, here we go into the Ascari chicane. Watch for the braking. Brakes really late, actually almost at 110 meters, but he does get it slowed down. Back end wanting to step out the entire time. Right, here we go. Here's Crow. What's it going to be? It's a 29.2, not faster than what he did before. As Marek has actually done a 28.9, so he's found a fair bit of pace here in the wet. But none of it really matters because, oh, he's actually a bit quicker this lap, almost a tenth up through that first sector. But yeah, it doesn't matter because qualifying and the race will be in dry. Although it's a nice set of bragging rights, isn't it? Right, let's ride on board with Barrick to the end of the lap. Calcifer currently in 5th and Marek backed off. And Calcifer's backed off. What about Muller? Barney's actually doing quite well in these conditions. Let's sit on board with VSR Muller as he's losing the back end to Parabolica. He holds it. Great control by Muller through the final corner. Watch out for Soren as well, he's still in the pit, as is Black Panther, Photon and Marcy. So both Ferrari drivers haven't come out of the pits yet. And Muller has lost the back end, he'll do a 360 to get it going once again. Let's sit on board with Calcifer, he's going to come around to start a new lap. Actually, it's Crow on a hot lap. Oh, it's a 28 flat from Crow, so he finds even more time. Is he going to be pushing this lap as well? He had full Rs when he was coming over the line, so he has deployed a lot for this lap. So I do expect this to be another hot lap from him. Where is Marek? Marek is 2/10 up, but not quick enough. Let's see if he can find more time. He's half a second up actually at the minute. So Marek has found a bit of time, but again, it is wet conditions and the racing qualifying will be in the dry. I just realised where this sound was coming from. It's coming from my phone, because I've got the stream up on my phone just so I can see all of your chats. What's this going to be? As a 28-1, not quick enough to pip Crow. Muller going slow. Corky just hasn't found the pace. He's faster than Myler though, actually, so he's not doing a bad job. Is Calcifer on a hot lap? I think he is. Let's see if he can improve. Both the Renault drivers currently 5th and 6th. That is the 3rd row of the grid. But you have Photon, Marcy, Formula Danny, Black Panther and Soren. They still have to set their times, so expect that all to change come qualifying. It's not that quick from Calcifer. Sir, 20. What? It is quick. Okay, there must have been a little bit of a glitch there, but Calcifer with a 27.4. He has just destroyed the timing screens. I don't know what was going on my screen then, because it said that he was on a slow lap. Muller, his back end is all over the place. He needs to either add some rear wing or maybe shift his ballast. I think Crow might be on a hot lap. But yeah, as always guys, do let me know if you have any comments or any questions, etc, etc. I'm always more than happy to get back to you guys. What is the delta? He's 4/10 up, so not able to find the time. Calcifer not actually pushing on this lap. Marek going slowly. Let's ride on board with Black Panther as he sets his first lap of the practice session. There's a yellow flag, that's probably for Muller. Yeah, Muller just hasn't been able to get that back end under control. 30.0, quite slow. And considering that he finished 3rd last time out, you will expect him, in the dry at least, to climb up that field. Let's sit on board with Mr. Panther for the rest of the lap. There was commotion that he wouldn't be racing today. But here we go into the Parabolica. This might be a 30 something, but again it is his first lap, so don't worry too much about that. Let's see what it's going to be. It's a 31.9, which is enough to put him ahead of Emilio and Toffe. Right, who can we ride on board with for the final 8 seconds of the race? Let's sit on board with K then. Right, here we go as Kane starts his fast lap. Flex Marcy has it left the session. I'm getting tongue-tied. But Kane locking up into the first chicane. But he does make the apex. So hopefully for his sake that won't cost him too much. But can anyone beat Calcifer? That is a very quick lap. That was faster than Tim's disallowed lap time as well. Corky has retired from the session as well. Look at that locking up from Kane, but he does make the apex, which is what matters at the end of the day. I'm not sure if any of these guys are actually practicing on their race strategies or just having fun out there, getting used to the track in wet conditions, because there is always the chance of rain in a race, so it's always kind of good just to have your bearings set somewhat. Oh, Kane runs wide. That will cost him quite a few tenths. Pro's on an outlap, as is VP Marek, so we'll switch over to them shortly. currently at 125.26, so it's probably going to be a 30 or something this lap. 131.1, so slow. Where is Crow? Here comes Crow to start his fast lap. He will be trying to jump ahead of Calcifer, of course. Marek, I don't think is too far behind. Yeah, Marek's not too far behind. Crow braking late, but notice Crow doesn't lock up. Crow very, very smooth. While we saw Williams, Tim, Kane, and I think Marek as well, all of them locking up under braking. Also keep an eye on Black Panther. Let's see if he can climb up the leaderboards. Well, yeah, I don't know, it's always useful to have practice just to get an idea of everyone's pace, just so everyone can, you know, get their setups right, because a lot of people haven't been doing practice prior to the race, as in prior to, like, tonight, so it's useful for them just to have a bit of time on the same track as everyone else, just so that they can have an idea of their pace, what to change in their setup and stuff like that, so, yeah. But here comes Crow into the Ascari chicane. He takes a lot of curb on the entry. That will help him out massively. Nice and wide. Don't want to take it too tight because that will compromise you down the back straight. Again, I have no idea what kind of time we're going to get. Whenever you put a new set of tyres on this game, it doesn't show you the delta anymore. It just shows you what your split time is. Sorry, pardon me. But here we go. It's not looking too quick. It's a 29. 30, 30.5. Okay, right now is the fast lap. What about Marek? What kind of time is this looking to be? It's going to be a 30.2, but now he's starting his lap as well. So both of them did essentially an out lap, and now they're going to be bombing for it. And you can already see just that little bit of extra power on the exit of corners. He's a little bit up in Sector 1 actually. Smooth through the second chicane. Oh, thanks Calcifer. Also, nice laps. You are on fire. I guess now you wish it was raining for the race. But Crow is going to drift slightly wide. A bit of understeer through the second Lesmo as he heads down the hill towards Ascari. He'll probably do one more lap after this, then see him head into the pits. What about Marek? So, Crow with a 58.3. Let's see what Marek does. 57.8. So, Marek much, much quicker than Crow at this stage. So, possibly we'll see Marek jump up into second place. Yeah, I thought it was bugged. I thought you were going to do a 30 and then all of a sudden it was a 27. So, whoa, as Crow has a massive moment putting the power on that white paint. What's it going to be though? It's a 29.3. Again, I think he saved up his ERS for the end. Marek has saved up his ERS, but this is going to be quick. It's a 27.9. Marek moves up into second place. Kane is on a hot lap. And Crow's quite consistently setting these low 28s. Ah, okay, that... Whoa, as Crow touching the grass there. You do not want to be doing that. So, Mr. Calcifer, how are you feeling for the race then, in terms of your pace? Considering that you've got Timp, Danny, Sauron, Photon, Muller, Crow, and Marek. All of them are racing today, so you're going to have your work cut out a little bit, trying to make up as many points as you can. Crow feeding the power. Let's see what it is this time. Remember, Marek last time out set 57.8 or something, and Crow again is slow. What about Marek? Let's see what his delta is. 58.3, so he's slow as well. What about Kane? Kane looks like he could be on a quick lap. Elsinger's in the pits. Will he be able to beat? It's a 29.2, not faster than his previous. Here comes Crow. It's not going to be quicker than before. Again, he's got loads of ERS. It's a 30.0. And I think Marek's backing out of it. Who can we ride on board with? Let's go to Panther. Oh, Panther having a moment on the entry into the Ascari chicane. Yeah. I mean, Crow's racing today, so Danny probably won't jump ahead of Crow in the championship. But I guess Crow being there just makes it a little bit harder for you. Let's sit on board with Black Panther. It's not looking like a quick lap. Again, I don't blame him. I hate these conditions myself. It's 32.3. Right, and that's pretty much going to be the end of the session. Is Crow on a fast lap? Possibly. He's going to get a distant DRS tow. Kane is on a slow lap. Let's see if Crow can do much better. Bit of back end stepping out under the brakes. Oh, back end all the way. Trying to get as much DRS. It's going to be a 28.4, but it's not enough. What about Marek? Here he comes. What is the current time? It's a 29. It is going to be slow. He's going to get one more lap in. What about Mr. Kane? Black Panther is on a lap. And everything seems to be glitching out for me. Here we go. Let's ride on board with Marek for the last thing. Yeah, I'm sure you are hoping that Tim will beat oh, what do you call it, Formula Danny, and I'm sure you're going to hope that Photon's going to be up there and take some points as well. See, as a commentator, I have to be neutral and I have to support the sport and hope that he closes you down for an entertaining final couple of races. But that, guys, is the end of the practice session. We'll be heading into qualifying in just a short while. But there we go. These are our standings. Calcifer will take, I guess, practice pole. Although there was a glitch. He should have been setting like a 29 or something, or a 30. So, yeah, a bit of a glitch there, but that's fine. Oh, sorry, I'm yawning a lot. Also, I've realised something strange. It's only the really, really quick drivers who have gold. No one else has gold. So, I don't feel that bad about myself now that I was only able to get into, like, silver 2 or something. Right, guys, it is nice and dry for qualifying. And who is going to be the first person to head out onto the track for round 14 here at Monza? Who's going to be the first person to set in a lap? But look at this, Tim's going to be out just before Danny, I feel. Elsing is also ready to come out. Oh, and look at that, both Mercedes coming out so close to each other. But it looks like it's going to be, I think that was Crow who came out first. There you go, it was Crow. See, the advantage of being at the front of the pit lane. Very subtle advantage, but it can help you. Right, so let's sit on board with Mr. Crow then as he begins his hot lap, or as he's on his out lap. I'm getting tongue tied. Today's not a good day for me. It's been a long day. It's been like since, I don't know, like all day I've been doing stuff. I've been streaming, then I've been going out to work, and I just have barely had a moment's break. Lots of work. But guys, let me know. Light up that chat. Let's see chats. Let's see lots of messages in that chat. What are your predictions for qualifying? Come on. What is your prediction for the fastest lap in qualifying? My personal prediction, I mean, we haven't had any data from practice to go on, but I'm going to say an 18.5. I haven't seen time trial times, but I think it'll be about an 18.5. But here we go, Crow coming around to start his flying lap, and his first lap. For a while he's been absent for a fair bit in ORL. Sorry, absent for a fair bit from ORL. But here we go, braking. Someone has disappeared. Crow's going to have a bit of a lock up on the front right tyre. But the power being fed in once again. Myler's going to get out of the way, but unintentionally kind of blocks him because Crow wanted to be on the left hand side. Very early braking. I don't feel like Crow is pushing on this lap. He's going to pull out of the way. Who is that going to be? It's Formula Danny. So let's sit on board with Formula Danny, who will now be the first person to set in a flying lap. Unless Black Panther got out ahead. No, he didn't. So let's sit on board with Formula Danny then. He properly throws it into Ascari. Does run wide. He may get an invalidated lap time for that. You've also got Timp very close behind him. In fact, if we take this view, you can just see Timp in the background. But this will be the first hot lap of the qualifying session as Formula Danny's into the pits. So it's going to be Williams Timp who will set the first hot lap. It's going to be a 21.0. That is going to be absolutely demolished given time. And there you go, Soren already with a 19.4. What did I say the fastest time would be? An 18.7 or an 18.8? Yeah, it might be even lower than that. I mean, Soren's quick, but the others are even quicker, and he can probably find another half a second or something stupid. Who can we run on board with? Let's sit on board with Flexus Marcy. Is he on a hot lap as a back end stepping out through Parabolica? What about Photon? Let's sit on board with Mr. Photon then. Back end snapping out through the chicane. How do you handle that kind of... I don't know how they managed that. That is just crazy. Also, I think Crow might be on a hot lap. Let's just take a look and see. Oh yes, Crow is on a hot lap. So let's sit on board with him then, and then we can switch back over to Photon and Muller. Okay, 17 seconds up. Oh, he ran a bit wide on the initial part and had to lift out of it. This is going to be around the 20s, I feel. He breaks at about 60 meters in. He just missed the apex slightly, but that doesn't matter. Sauron has ghosted out. He's left the session. Not quite sure what happened there, but where is this going to be? It's a 19.3. Crow moves up to provisional pole. But let's go over to Photon. He's coming around to finish a lap, but it's going to be a 21.9. So not that quick, and it's not even going to count. Formula Danny on his outlap. What about Mr. Kaltfer? He's also on an outlap. Muller is on a hot lap though. But he's going to head into the pits actually. Let's sit on board with Mr. Photon, who is on his second flying lap. He's half a tenth up through sector 1, or touching the gravel. We see quite a few drivers doing that. You have to have so much confidence through Lesmo 1 that the car will just stick and not run wide. Has to fight to correct the oversteer on the exit through Lesmo 2, and now down the hill we go as we head into the Ascari chicane. Soren has rejoined the session. Oh, he misses the apex slightly. If he could have cut that a little bit more, it would have been slightly better. He runs slightly wide. I'm not sure if that will count as cutting the course. Oh, we have a bit of a lag moment there from Photon. I'm not sure if that's going to affect his time, actually. It might do. Hopefully not. And he's going to peel into the pits. He probably could have got off a 1:19, I reckon. Marcy currently in 4th, ahead of Kane. So not bad job. Black Panther in 6th, so really good job from him. But Timp and Formula Danny, the two Mercedes drivers, still have to set their times. But here comes Danny, and it seems like he's on quite a quick lap. He doesn't try to get the maximum slipstream from Toffee. He slows it down into the Parabolica. Very, very late on the brakes, but very smooth as well. He's going to head into the pits. He's brave, not setting in a lap. Still 11 minutes of qualifying left. Emilio is on a slow lap, currently racing with Toffee and Weke. Williams Timp is going to be starting a lap soon. What about Mr. Calcifer? Calcifer is on a lap. Let's ride on board with him for a bit then, and then we can switch over to Timp for the end of Timp's lap. But Calcifer currently sitting in 5th. He'll want to qualify ahead of Flex's Marcy around Soron and Marek. Currently he's not too far off, only 2/10. So, but finding a 10th or 2 is much easier said than done, especially when you're already on the ragged limits like these guys are. Although Timp isn't on the limit, not by a chance, not at all. That was his easy lap time, that's his banker lap time. What is interesting though is no one is opting for soft tyres in this qualifying session. So that is actually fairly interesting as Calcifer massively cuts the corner. That surely will not be allowed. So let's move over to Mr. Timp now, who's trying to set in a lap. Again guys, let's see your predictions. Who do you reckon is going to, what do you reckon the front row of the grid is going to be? And Timp weaving, he's warming up his tyres. This is not his lap. Are they ever going to set a lap time in? So let's move up to Soron and Marek. Let's see what it is. It's a 25.8 through sector 2. Runs a lit. He runs right out to the ragged edge, to be fair. He didn't run wide. But let's see, can he jump ahead of Soren? Barely a 10th separating the two of them. And then you've got Flex's Marcy and Calcifer close behind. But then after Kane, you've got a bit of a gap to Black Panther. And that is where the best of the rest battle starts. But it's going to be a 19-1, and Marek moves up to provisional pole. Where are you, Timp? Show us what you can do. You can't let these guys get away with it. 8 minutes of qualifying left. I said it was going to be an 18-8 or an 18-7. I stand by that. I do stand by that. I mean, it might be maybe an 18-9, but it's going to be... I'm going to stand by the 18-8, yeah. He's 1.6 seconds up at the minute. That will see him into a 19.4. If he can find another half a second, he's into the 18s. So 1.9 seconds already. Who knows how much time he can find in this final sector. There's a yellow flag at the end of sector 1. That will not affect him whatsoever. What kind of lap time is this going to be? Soren says an 18.9. But Williams Timp, I'm sure, will say more. It's an 18.7. But it doesn't count. So Timp's time has not been allowed. That is actually crazy. But what about Formula Danny? So we saw an 18.7 but disallowed. So we might still see that 18.8. Here we go, Formula Danny. Don't come in the pits. I would have got a little bit tilted. It's an 18.4. Formula Danny flexing his muscles like an absolute pro. Photon's moved up to 3rd as well. We kind of missed that. Also, the field is kind of close from... You've got Calcifer all the way up to Soron. So that's 8 places separated by 8/10 of a second. So fairly close. Also, it's not really that close in the midfield. You've got Black Panther's a bit too far off the pace. If you can find a couple more tenths, maybe. Is Timp on another hot lap? Tim's heading in the pits. Tim will get one more chance. Calcifer will be setting a lap soon. Here we go with Calcifer. It's a 19.7. Oh no, now he's starting his flying lap. Sorry, my bad. Let's sit on board with the reigning champion. And our championship leader, of course. It's going to brake at the 100-meter board. It takes the apex really nicely into the second chicane. Let's watch this through the second Lesmo. Down to 5th. Doesn't go down to 4th, actually. 4th for the second Lesmo, just to get the best drive possible through the first Lesmo. Is much more important, it would seem, just to be able to hold the grip. You don't need the exit. Getting a great exit might get you half a tenth. So it's much better just to be stable through there as we head out of the Ascari chicane. Calcifer is fairly quick at the minute. What is it going to be though? He's currently out 15, 18, 19.2. Calcifer moves up to 5th. He jumps ahead of Crow, who currently sits 2nd in the championship. So that is big for him. What about Mr. Tim? He's in the pits. He will have one chance for a lap. Corky's on an out lap. What about Mr. Muller? Calcifer, of course, has finished his lap, so we're just going to have to wait for Muller to begin his flying lap. But here he comes. Again, watch the wider line across the start-finish straight. So, two cars have just come out of the pits. One of them won't get in the way, but the other one might just. I think that's a Ferrari or a McLaren. Muller, oh, ever so late on the brakes, but he does manage to make it in for the apex just in time. Crow, that is, who has just come out of the pits. So he'll probably do one out lap, and then he'll do his out lap, maybe a second out lap, and then his flying lap. Nice and easy through the first Lesmo. Now throw it into the second Lesmo. 5th gear. Calcifer dropped it down to 4th. But Muller just able to hold maybe a little bit more speed. Maybe he's... You can't change gear ratios in this game. No, you can't. Watch the braking. Brakes at 100 meters. Pretty much on the dot. He drifts wide through the second part of the Ascari. And he has to correct. That will probably invalidate his lap time. But he's going to keep on going. So I'm going to guess it hasn't invalidated the lap time then. If it had, he would have backed out of it, but he somehow caught that. And now he runs wide. He's trying to hold it. He's still got to push. What's it going to be? It's a 19.467. Slower than his previous best. And that might be the end for Muller. Let's sit on board with Tim. He's about to come round Parabolica to start. Well, maybe his final lap. Muller has retired from the session, so he's not going to improve on 7. Tim is most likely going to jump ahead of Muller, as could Marcy and Kane. So Muller might find himself starting the race in 10th place. Brakes really late, 120 meter board. Somehow he gets it slowed down in time. Marek's retired from the session. He's setting a 19.1. He currently sits in 4th, so he will not be able to jump ahead of Photon and Soren anymore. Those top 3 are currently on their outlaps. Calcifer's still in the pit, so he's probably got another 20 seconds to get out onto track. Williams Tim touching that gravel. He'll have one more lap after this, and that's it. So, I don't know. I don't know if he'll set a banker time first, or if he'll go full out for it this time round. Let's see what the delta time is. Last time, I believe it was something like 1.7 or something. Let's see what it is this time round. It doesn't want to say because it's on the new tyres. He does run a bit wide into the Ascari chicane. That might compromise him just a little bit on the exit. Formula Danny getting well out of the way. Black Panther stays on the inside. They're all about to start their flying lap and their last lap at that as well. But here comes Williams Timp around the Parabolica. It's not seeming too quick, but he will get one more lap in after this. Crow is retired. It's an 18.9 from Tim and is not enough. 200ths down on Sauron. But he's still going. Is he going? We have to ride on board with Formula Danny though, because he is quick right now. Calcifer is on his outlap. He's got 30 seconds to complete that. His outlap. Muller currently down in 9th. The Black Panther is in the pit, so he's not going to be able to improve. He was only able to set a 20.1 at the end. Formula Danny with a 25.7. William Stimp also on the 25.7, but he's going to back out of the lap. What about Sauron? 25.6. He's faster than Formula Danny. Flex's Marcy just about gets out of the way. Let's see what Formula Danny's second sector time is like. He's miles above everyone else at the minute. It's a 25.6. But he has to be careful as he throws it through the Ascari chicane. 25.6 it was for Formula Danny. What is it going to be for Sauron? 25.6. So he's a 10th up on Danny's time. He found that 10th in the first sector. Kane has retired from the session. He's down in 10th place. Here comes Formula Danny. What can he do? It's an 18.2. What a lap, but watch out for this. Sauron has been extremely quick all lap. He's currently a 10th up on Danny. Does he have the pace through this final sector? It might be extremely close. Can he do it? No, he can't. It's only an 18.7 at the end of it. New personal best, but didn't have that pace through the final sector. But look how close it is from Timp, Crow and Photon. Whoa, that was a nice one. How close would you like it between all the way from Timp down to Calcifer? So we are in for an exceptional race, I do think. Yeah, but that is the end of the session. I'm going to quickly go and nip to the bathroom because I don't want to leave during the race because that would be a massive shame. Right, so I'll be back in just a second, guys. Don't go anywhere. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to ORL Season 10 Round 14 here at Italy at the infamous Monza circuit. And do we have a great race for you guys? We have a lot of drivers joining us. We've got Formula Danny, Velocity Formula Danny, Williams Tip, Crow, who is now SHZ Crow. We've got Photon, Marek, Muller, Soron, Calcifer, Kane, and Marcy. Right, and I just realised that the sound isn't fully working, so let me just quickly change that. Okay, right, all should be good now as we're going to head into the race. And qualifying was a very, very close affair, because you had from Tim in 3rd place, he set a 118.958, and then down in 8th, Calcifer set a 19.2, so just 2/10 separating 6 drivers. So it's going to be a very, very close race, so watch out for all of that. For those of you guys who are watching on YouTube, bring in the predictions, light up the chat, all of that kind of stuff. Any questions that you do have will be appreciated, I guess we can say. Gap, interval, detail. We would like to see position change for the start of the race. I am ready. I have forgotten my water, but thankfully there is a little bit of water, although it kind of tastes really weird, so I'm going to try not to drink that. But yeah, guys, Formula Danny starting on pole again. Can he make it? 3 wins from 4. No, 4 wins from 5. This is his 5th race in ORL, but we are getting ready to go. Here he is lining up on the grid. Soron in 2nd and Williams Tim in the 2nd Mercedes. So expect Mercedes to get a lot of points this time out. As we count the red lights, 4 red lights, 5 red lights. And away we go for the Monza Grand Prix, or for the Italian Grand Prix. What am I doing? But here we go. Formula Danny gets a good start. Soron hasn't got a great start. Williams Tim might have a go around the outside. Tim down the inside as Formula Danny runs wide. He's going to have to cut the course. But look at this. Crow is going to take the lead. What a start from Crow, starting down in 4th place. Tim moves up to 2nd. You've got Flex's Marcy. He's trying to follow. What has happened? Nothing's happened. I'm just getting overexcited over nothing. Is there going to be contact behind? No, everyone gets through fairly cleanly. But look at this Crow getting on the gravel as there's a little bit of contact through the Lesmos. They leave each other just enough room. Side by side through both Lesmos. Are you kidding me? What a start to the race. Muller has retired. What has happened to him? Photon. So Photon and Muller have had it coming together. But look at this. 3-way battle for the lead as they head into the Ascari chicane. Formula Danny's going to go down the inside. Can Crow have a shot? Soren's going to make his way past him. They're going to be side by side. Let's stick on board with Soron. We'll see a really good run from Flex's Marcy. Don't forget, Kane is joining us for this race. He's only raced 1 time before, and that was in France where he finished 3rd. Tim's going to go for the inside on Soron. There's a little bit of contact. Tim pushes Soron out wide, and Soron will have to lift off a little bit just so he doesn't lose the back end. But here comes VP Marek. It's a 3 abreast. What a start to the Italian Grand Prix. This is absolutely crazy. Panther has a 5-second penalty for speeding, but there's 3 wide into the chicane, and Marek will pick up the positions. But look at this. Calcifer, he is down in 7th place. He wants a piece of this. Marcy and Soren are side by side. Will Soren have a go? Yes, he will. They both lock up. Can Calcifer have a shot at this? Marcy cuts the course. Will he have to let Soren back through? But look up ahead, because Crow is closing in on Mr. Danny. He's too far back though, I feel. What about over here? I'm just trying to keep an eye on all the position changes. So who are your big winners? Marek's the big winner. Soren's the big loser. Elsinger's gained loads of places, as has Corky. Black Panther again into the pits at the end of a lap 1. We saw that happen at Spa. But Muller is out of the race. Photon had to come in the pits. So watch out for Photon through this race. He will be on a rampage, I am sure. I'm actually really hungry now. I don't know why. Watching this has made me hungry, but there you go. So we're going to try to keep up with all the battling going on. But we have to stick with Soren because it is quite close. We might see DRS. Oh, but look at this. Look how close these three are in the battle for the lead. So Formula Danny and Tim, we did expect them to be racing for the lead of the race, but Crow, returning after a long period of absence, is right up there with them. And you can see in the background, oh, they're going side by side. I think Sauron having a cheeky little look at Marcy. Marcy loses the back end. Sauron somehow avoids it, but can Calcifer make it through? Calcifer did make it through. Good job by Sauron to avoid that, because Marcy was always going to come across the track when he lost the back end. But Sauron will have DRS now. And there's been contact. Barney has come together with Sauron. Why have I done that? Here we go. Sauron's going to go down the inside of Calcifer. And I feel like that is justice, because he did deserve that position. Marek has picked up a 3-second time penalty. I'm going to write that down. So Marek 3 seconds. Black Panther had 5. Those are the only real penalties so far. But while all of this has been going on, look up ahead. Crow has retaken the lead of the race. Formula Danny is going to have a lot on his plate if he wants to try and take his 4th win of the season. Sorry, not 4th win, 3rd win of the season. But here comes Formula Danny. He's going down the inside. Can he make it stick? Crow trying to stay side by side, but this is going to be brilliant for William Sim, who can now stick right on the back of them. Calcifer still behind Soren. He hasn't been able to find a way through, and Elsinger just going to pick up those points. Corky as well doing a good job. This is his first race in ORL. He won the social race at Monza earlier this week, so he was always going to be in contention for that best of the rest spots, and he seems to be doing a good job now. But Barney and Marcy are into the pits. Such a shame that Marcy had to lose the back end through that chicane. Right, let's watch on board from Williams' team perspective as Photon sets a fast lap on the race on those super soft tyres. But look up ahead. Crow, he wants a go at this. Right, we're going to change detail onto the tyres they are on. So Kane, he pitted at the end of lap 1 to put on the soft tyres. Panthers on the mediums. Barney and Marcy are on the mediums, so they will be trying to go to the end of the race. But it's so close. 4:10 separating the top 3 is absolutely ridiculous. But watch this now. They are all going to be getting DRS. We are surely going to see a change for position. Formula Danny goes defensive. Crow is going to go for the outside as they enter lap number 5. Never did I think we'd be saying in Formula 1 that Mercedes would be batting with the McLaren. Can Formula Danny hold it around the outside of the chicane? I think he might be able to. Crow is not going to be able to get the drive, but he is now right back up into the slipstream. This is an absolutely fantastic race. Here we go, side by side into the chicane. And you have to think this is going to be good for the likes of Marek, who is trying to close up into this. But Crow retakes the lead. What is this? This is crazy. Come on, guys. Light up the chat. You have to be enjoying this. I think when I do the highlights, I'm just not going to cut out anything. It's just going to be this entire race. It's going to be a 30-minute race video and maybe no interviews. But look how close it is, because you have Marek, Soron and Calcifer all closing in slowly but surely. But look at this. You've also got Marcy closing in on Barney. But we have to focus with the leaders. Too many battles going on. Let's sit on board with Formula Danny, who will get the best run of the 3. Marek is only a second behind, so if these guys battle for one more lap, he will be in the DRS zone. And Calcifer will be licking his lips as he will be joining onto the battle. Remember, oh sorry, Tim has found a way past Formula Danny. Has Formula Danny got some wing damage perhaps? Oh, Crow loses the back end ever so slightly. That might cost him as they head out of turns 1 and 2. But look at this. Marek is in DRS zone, as is Sauron. Calcifer almost in that crucial DRS zone. But this is great news for Calcifer, because Danny is closing up to him in the championship. So he needed Danny not to win the race. As Marcy picks up a 3-second time penalty, as does Barney. Let me write that down. And Marek is just too far behind. These guys are just Formula Danny is just put in a quick sector and has closed the gap. But Sauron is closing in onto Marek. And expect Sauron to have a go into turn 1 on the next lap if Marek can't stay within the DRS zone. Calcifer has a 3-second time penalty. That's not something we say every day. Tim gets a much earlier apex. Will he be able to get a better run out of the corner? He's fiddling with his earth and fuel mechs. Maybe even a little twinkle on the brake bias. But here he goes, Williams Tim going for the inside. SHZ Crow will not go defensive. And Tim will claim the lead fairly comfortably, but Crow gets a cutback on Tim through that chicane. Can he get the run as they head into the second chicane, as they head? Formula Danny falling back just a little bit. Flex's Master can't find a way past Barney at the minute. Photon has managed to find a way past Panther, but he's going to have to stop again. Kane also on the soft tyres. I'm interested to see whether he can make it to the end of this race. While the battles we have, not too many. Corky trying to close down Elsinger, but unsuccessfully at the minute. Formula Danny just seeming to fall off the pace ever so slightly. Elsinger's a fair bit back, so I feel like Elsinger's out of this race. Maybe Corky and Elsinger will have a bit of a race in the upcoming laps as Sauron picks up a 3-second time penalty. Don't forget, Sauron was a guy who qualified up in 2nd place, and he's down in 5th. Oh, was that a little look to say, oh, I'm going in the pits, are you? So lap 8, so expect them to pit maybe about lap 10, 11. I feel like that would be a reasonable time to pit. Maybe next lap. It's getting close to the pit window. I'm not sure how long these tyres can last. But usually you want to do like 35% of the race on your softer compound and like 65% on your other compound. Something like that, or 40-60. And Formula Danny just falling back from this group as Crow has a moment. Danny will make it through. What has happened to Crow? Crow has spun it. And this happened to him earlier on in the season at Spain when he was leading the race. But that could massively affect it. Will he come into the pits at the end of this lap, or will he try the overcut now? This will be somewhat interesting. Formula Danny though had to lift out of that to avoid Crow. But that's the second person who we have seen spin on the exit of that corner. We saw it happen to Photon earlier, I believe, and he collected no, Marcy spun there. But look at this, Marek seems to get a decent run. But Formula Danny's into the pits. And Marek's going to get a really good run. He's going to go for the inside. Sauron's not going defensive. Crow is into the pits as well. And Marek will move up into 2nd place. But that is because Formula Danny has pitted. So where is Crow coming out? So Formula Danny will come out into clear air. He'll come out just ahead of Weke. What about Mr. Crow? Will he come out ahead of Toffee? Yeah, he's in fairly clear air. But let's move back up because Sauron is getting close to VP Marek now. I mean, Marek did just pass Sauron, but it is still close. Calcifer's a bit too far behind. Expect these guys to pit this lap. And you will have Crow trying to put in a really quick lap to try and close the gap and possibly jump ahead of Calcifer, who was about 1 and a bit seconds before they pitted. Also, watch out for Mile in this race because he started on the soft compound tyres. So expect him to close into Elsinger and Corky towards the end of this race. So possibly some decent points on offer for Mr. Myler. But here comes Sauron. Sauron is into the pits. And Emilio Sachs actually almost getting lapped now. Oh, Emilio Sachs has been lapped. But he will unlap himself when these guys up ahead pit. So where is Crow? Crow So these guys are just coming out of the pits. And where is Crow? Let's look from Crow's perspective. Barney picks up a 5-second stop-go penalty. That is not good for him. And up ahead, you can see Calcifer and Sauron coming out of the pit. So Crow with the undercut just wasn't quite able to get it. Sauron, as Calcifer runs wide, will this give Crow a chance to pick up the spot? Calcifer on the cold tyres, possibly getting caught out slightly. Weke getting out of the way of Sauron. Very good manners from Mr. Weke. As Marek picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his second. But Calcifer has 3 seconds worth of time penalties, which could be crucial. So Calcifer has 3, Sauron has 3, Marek has 3. And I've written down Mark has 3, but obviously Mark's not in this race. So, oh right, Marcy has 3. Look at this, Crow is close to Calcifer. Maybe he can have a go into turn 1. His tyres are more up to temperature than Calcifer's. He'll get a slightly better run through the Ascari chicane. He will get in the DRS, so expect things to change as they head into turn 1. VP Marek currently leads the race as Williams Tip has headed into the pits. Let's see where he comes out relative to Mr. Danny. So Tim's going to come out ahead, but let's stick on board with Crow and not Elsinger and Calcifer. Crow's going to go for the inside as Panther retires from the session. So he must have had a bit of a crash then. But look at this, Elsinger's come out fairly close to Calcifer. Much closer than he was before as Marcy picks up a 3-second time penalty. I am keeping track of all of these. So what else is closer? Black Panther won't be able to pick up any points. Calcifer, I'm sure Crow will start pulling away from Calcifer now that he has got ahead. But Formula Danny is just over a second behind Tim. But it will be this two-way battle for the lead now that Crow has fallen behind, and he's a fair bit back as well. So he has thrown this away with that mistake on the exit of turn 2 as Formula Danny passes Myla down the inside into the Ascari chicane. But can Formula Danny close into Tim? Formula Danny did qualify on pole, so he should have the raw pace advantage. But Marek is into the pits. Let's see where he feeds out. Expect him to feed out around Sauron. So he was ahead of Sauron when Sauron came into the pits. So let's see if there has been a change in position. As Formula Danny moves up into 13th on those medium tyres. He has just pitted on this lap. Right, let's sit on board with Sauron. There's Marek. He's going to pull right into the slipstream. He's going for the outside. Formula Danny has a 3-second time penalty. It's going to be side by side between Sauron and Marek. Sauron's going to go for the outside. And Sauron's going to make it work. Right, so Formula Danny has 3 seconds of time penalties. Tim does not. But here, will Marek have a go heading into the second chicane? No, he will have to back up. What about Calcifer? He is falling back. Corky kind of close to Elsinger. But quite interestingly, Tim, Sauron and Marek have gone for the softer tyres. So that could play a bit of a factor. So we'll have to see how that all pans out later in this race. But Formula Danny now down in 12th place. He is on the same strategy as everyone else now, or on the same kind of tyres. He is 14 seconds back. So he's actually 21 seconds down on the points, which is Kane. So he's going to have to pull off. Sorry, Kane still has to pit though. So he's going to be in this battle for 8th place. He wants to try and close into Elsinger. In fact, when Myla pits, he'll be there as well, battling for that. Barney's at the back of the grid now. He's picked up a 3-second time penalty, so not too sure what happened. Might have picked up some front wing damage. What about Corky? Is Corky closing in onto Elsinger? Alright, time to get some more of this weird tasting water thing. And right, we're going to shift up because Sauron is closing in on Myla. And Sauron has a 3-second time penalty. Did he have a bit of contact with Myla? Sauron's going to go down the inside into Lesmo 1. Let's look on board from Marek's perspective, as Marek will want to get into this. As Formula Danny picks up another 3-second time penalty. This might allow Soren to jump him when the time comes. Soren actually has 6 seconds worth of time penalties, as does Formula Danny. So Williams Tim should have this race in the bag as it stands, as Marek will go down the inside into the Ascari chicane. And that's Marek up into 4th place. But it is a Mercedes 1-2, which we did mention, to expect them to catch up a lot to the Renaults of Calcifer and Elsinger. But Ferrari, Photon and Marcy, they were expected to get a lot of points, but mistakes from them means that Renault will stretch their lead at the top of the standing. Right, who's in the pits is Myler. So Myler will be coming out around this battle possibly, but he will be on those super soft tyres. He's going to be a fair bit back actually, so Myler will be battling around Kane. What tyres is he going on? He's gone for the mediums, as Photon picks up a 3-second time penalty. That's his first of the race. Where's Myler coming out? Weke is too far back actually. And Photon, how is Photon so far back on all of this? He's done 1 pit stop more than everyone else. Okay, he's not that far back. He's 17 seconds down on Myler. So I'm sure he will have a good go at trying to close that up, or close that down. But Formula Danny at the minute doesn't seem to have the pace to catch up to Tim, let alone overtake him and pull out 6 seconds worth of a gap. But what about Crow? Crow has got past Calcifer, and he will be hunting down Marek. But the interesting thing here is the soft tyres versus the medium tyres. Tim, Soren, Marek on the softs, Formula Danny, Crow and Calcifer on the mediums. Those are your top 6 who are effectively in a battle for position, although I feel like Calcifer is going to fall back, so we may see a 5-way battle. Corky just doesn't seem to get the drive out of this final corner. Don't forget guys, I want to hear all your predictions and all of that kind of stuff for the race. But look at this. Oh, is there going to be contact? Right, we have to move up anyway because Marek is right on the tail of Soren. And look at Crow. That is Crow right behind. No, it's not. That's not Crow behind. That is Emilio who's behind. As Kane has come into the pits to put on the soft tyres for the last 13 laps of the race. Where will he come out? Will he should come out just behind Photon. I would think so. Right, but here we go. Marek has the DRS. Will Soren go defensive? No, he doesn't. Soren has faith in his late braking. Oh, you want to join? Give me a second. Let me go into the Discord chat. And, right, hang on. I'll start a call with you. Hello.
Yeah, alright. This was just so fucked up.
What happened to you? I just saw that you went out of the race all of a sudden. As Marek's going to go down the inside of Soren. Hang on a second. We got the 2 side by side through the first chicane. Can he get the drive on the exit on the outside? I think he just about could, as Flex's Marcy has disconnected. So that's one of the Ferraris out of the race. But Marek and Soren side by side. Crow is 14 seconds down. It's still side by side. This is crazy. But Soren will back out and Marek will take 3rd place. Sorry, Kat. Sorry, Panther. What were you saying?
No problem. That was intense.
Yeah.
So yeah, the first stop was just so rubbish, as I can say that.
Right.
Just like Calcifer slipped away and the guys in front of me braked and I couldn't avoid and my front wing was gone then. So yeah, it was all one big mess.
Well, it does mean you get to join me for the best job in the world, which is commentating alongside me for ORL. Yeah. So, right, I've got a question. Oh, there's a safety car out.
A safety car? What the fuck?
Who has crashed? Marcy has DC'd. Okay, this is going to be massive. Formula Danny's in the pits. He was on the medium tyres, right? And this is one thing I wanted to ask, because we...
they all got a pit. Soren is also in the pits.
And Tim hasn't pitted. This is crazy scenes here at round 14 at Monza. And you had Timp, who was on those soft tyres. So this is crazy, but look at this. Marek, Soren and Kaltova have gone for the super soft tyres. Panther, can super soft tyres last for 10 laps?
I think they can, if you just be careful with the throttle at the exit of turn 1.
Yeah, and obviously we don't know how long this safety car is going to be out for. So
I think because of Barney.
What happened to Barney?
Yeah, I think he crashed. I think he's not good at concentrating today.
No, on my screen he's still driving around.
Yeah, he is, but I saw him spinning a few laps ago.
Yeah, and everyone's been losing the back end through the on the exit of that second chicane. We saw Flex's Marcy spun and there was a collision. Crow spun shortly after and there was almost a collision there. But okay, right. So the question here is, you've got Timp, Crow, and Elsinger, who are on old soft and medium tires, and oh god, so much stuff can happen. What do you think is going to happen?
Let me just look at the tires, because I'm not sure what they have. Well, I think it's looking good for Formula Danny, because he pitted.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's on fresher tires.
Will Timp come in the pits?
He won't pit.
You can't. If you pit now, you're going to come out in about 8th or 9th.
Yeah, that will be dramatic for him.
And then you're never going to come through the field. So, interesting decisions, and I feel like this could actually work really well for Elsinger though.
Yeah, I think so too.
Because he would have been in that battle with Corky, Kane and Myler. And but this is actually really good for Photon as well, because all of a sudden he's back in this battle for the points. And actually he can maybe make his way all the way up to 8th, depending on the kind of start he can get.
Oh wow. This is gonna be fun.
Kaltova has a 5-second stop go penalty.
Collision with Soren.
What?
Did he lose Did he lose something from the front wing?
The thing is,
no,
you don't see. Like, even if you get damage on your front wing, it doesn't show with these angles. So, would that add on at the end of his race time, or does he actually have to come in the pits?
That depends. If you just don't pit, then it will be added at the end of the race. But if you pit, then it's a 5 seconds stop and go.
Wow. So Kaltova now has 8 seconds worth of time penalties. The thing is, Formula Danny has 6 seconds worth of time penalties, while Timp has none. Crow doesn't have any time penalties. Elsing I don't think has any. Formula Danny, as I said, has 6. Marek has 6. Soron has 6. Kaltova has 8 now. Corky doesn't have any. So this could be extremely entertaining, as the safety car is the safety car. Can we see the green light? No, it's still an orange light, so it's going to be out for another lap. So, and again, the longer the safety car is out, the better this is for the likes of Timp, Crow and Elsinger, who haven't pitted. What is the safety car out for? I
think something with Barney, I guess. I'm not sure, but...
Oh, and there's contact. Corky has made contact with Elsinger, and Corky has a 5-second top go penalty. I just saw that, and that's going to be part of his front wing gone. See, like, I know I hit the back of your car in the social race, and I lost some of my, I would have lost my front wing, but you can do that on the formation lap.
Yeah. I lost my car actually in the formation lap. I'm not sure if you saw.
Oh no, I didn't. Yeah, I saw you got disqualified, but that was it.
Yeah, I just lost it at the end of turn 3. I was like, oh fuck.
Right, okay. So, start of the race, I'm really going to be watching out for Marek and Formula Danny trying to get past Elsinger, because Marek on the super soft tyres, Formula Dan, I think Marek is in best position to win this race. 8 laps, when they cross the line, they're going to have 8 laps to go, and Marek is practically on fresh super soft tyres.
I'm looking forward to what Crow is gonna do. How hard he will defend for his position.
I'm seeing debris flying everywhere from my screen.
Yeah. I'm gonna watch Christopher for his restarts.
Okay.
So
Yeah, he's on the super soft tires as well, and you should get a good view of everything that's going on. But again, Crow is on the medium tires, and you would have thought Crow would pit because he had the most of the game. But safety car is coming in the pits at the end of this lap. Let's
this
wait.
This will be so perfect for me. This safety car.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I didn't want to say
Oh
it.
shit! Oh, Christopher almost hit. Oh,
Marek as well. What is going on?
They all slowed down.
Did Calcifer get another 5-second penalty?
No, it was
Marek into Calcifer. Sorry.
But look how slow they drive.
Yeah, Timp is really holding this up. Let's actually ride on board with Timp. Wait for him to pull that trigger. Look at him, he's turning up his ERS, and away he goes. No, is he? No, he's backing up again. I'm loving this restart. I'm going to sit on board with Elsinger. Elsinger has over... No, we're not going. Okay, we're going now. What is going on for this restart here at Monza? Tim will get away fairly clean. Crow is quite close behind. But look at this. There is Soron. That's Barney getting well out of the way. Good stuff from him. Let's sit on board with Soren. It's all getting so close. Marek is on the tail of Formula Danny. He has got those fresher tyres. Mile has a 5-second penalty. I have no idea what that's for. It's so close. It's almost going to be as crazy as start. Formula Danny holds the line through turn 1, but Marek will get a slightly better run. Barney has a 3-second time penalty now. And Flex's Marcy is still racing. Actually, he is still racing. I thought he had left the session. But look at this. Formula Danny, can he hold on to the position? They will be trying to close down onto Elsinger. And Elsinger doesn't get the best of run. There's a blue flag as well. Is that for... That can't be for Elsinger. Formula Danny will try to get the run. Elsinger is seemingly getting out of the way. Has he got a puncture?
I don't think so.
He's really slow. Surprisingly slow. But what else do we have? We've got Kane. He's right on the back of Corky. Corky has that 5-second penalty. He's going to go down the inside.
Overtakes Elsinger.
Oh, and look at that. Kane runs a little bit wide, but it's fine. Calcifer gets a 3-second time penalty. This is not usual. Calcifer usually really clean. Look at this. Photon is now in the points. He's going to have a go on the outside of Corky. Corky runs wide.
Kane is overtaking Elsinger.
And Flex's Marcy picks up the position on... Flex's Marcy picks up the position on Photon, as Photon had to take evasive action on Corky. And Photon has a bit of a lag jump. Kane is going to go down the inside of Elsinger. Can he make it stick? Can Flex's Marcy follow through? He will certainly try to. He's going to get the cutback. Crow has a 3-second time penalty. And that's Crow's first of the race. But Formula Danny has found a way past Crow. Let's move up there because this is where the battle... And there's contact! Contact between Marek and Crow into the second chicane. What is going on here? This is absolutely insane. And look at this. Soren is right on the back of Marek. But let's just see, can Marek possibly get the drive on Crow? And Crow, he's on 12-lap old medium tyres. This is not going to work out for him.
Flex's Marcy is going for a move on Elsinger.
Oh, thank you very much for that. And he's going to make it stick. Can Photon possibly find a way through? Corky gets a 3-second time penalty. Photon will get the switcheroo onto Elsinger. And I think he's going to get the move to stick. But look at this. Meanwhile, up ahead, Marek is on the outside of Crow through the Parabolica. And now Calcifer wants to get a piece of this. Marek's into the pits. What is going on? Let's sit on board with Soren. Soren is going to go 3 wide. Remember, Marek has retired. Is he getting lag spikes or that is crazy. This is playing into the hands of Calcifer. He's so slow through the first chicane, but Formula Danny closing in onto Timp. And Calcifer this is great damage limitation for Calcifer. Muller's out of the race. Marek's out of the race. Photon had that incident. And Calcifer on the fresher tyres makes a move stick on Crow. Soren
on a penalty.
Another penalty. But don't forget, Crow has 3 seconds of time penalty. Calcifer has 11. But look at this. Sauron down the inside of Calcifer into the second Lesmo. And Crow's tyres must be starting to wear out now. But look at this. Flex's Marcy and Photon, the two Ferrari drivers, nose to tail as they head into the Ascari chicane. Expect Photon to be faster and possibly challenge Kane. Crow picks up... Oh my god. Crow picking up the time penalty. He still has 5 seconds left. He still has 5 seconds less of time penalties. But, oh, what's going on here? Sauron and Calcifer. And Sauron's going to get the cutback through the chicane. That is great stuff. Let's ride on board with Crow. As Formula Danny setting fastest lap after fastest lap. They're side by side. This is the battle for the race lead with 4 laps to go. Formula Danny is down the inside. Williams Tibb. It's a touch, but it's all right. Nothing is going to happen from that. Now, Formula Danny needs to pull 6 seconds in 4 laps. Can he do it? What do you think, Black Panther?
I'm not sure. 6 seconds in 4 laps is a bit too much, but he's pretty fast, so I think it will just not enough. Like 5 seconds.
Look at this. Elsinger's going to have a go onto Corky into the chicane. No, he's going to back out of it. Had a little cheeky little look. But this is the battle for the final position. I don't think Myler can really challenge for it. I think Myler's got a couple of penalties, but no, Toffee might be able to use a second down, but we'll have to see. Also, it's getting really close from Marcy going all the way up to Sauron.
Elstinger's going for the move.
Oh, here we go. He's got the DRS. He's going to go down the... Oh, no, he backs out of it. I have noticed that Elsinger doesn't have a lot of confidence under the brakes.
Yeah, I had the same issue here, to be honest. I was like, when I was on the mediums, I could brake normally at the 50-meter board right here. But now in this race, it was just... It didn't work.
Formula Danny is setting lots of fastest laps. He can't brake...
Oh,
Kane's going to get...
Yeah. Spike.
And Kane moving up to 5th place then, which means Photon might be able to pick up the position onto Crow. And Crow, you got to feel bad for Crow. He had that spin and then getting caught out with the safety car, and Tim has just been better than him on the older tyres. Elsinger also getting massively caught out on those older tyres, and now you've got Toffee who's right on the tail of Elsinger, and Elsinger now must be wishing that he had pitted when that safety car came out.
Oh, Kane is off. Oh no, Crow is off. He retired.
What's happened to Crow? Can we get a view? Oh, he's lost it through the first Lesmo.
Oh my god.
Is he getting lag spikes or something? But now all of a sudden Toffee's into the points again. 2 races in a row for Toffee where he's going to pick up the points. Obviously there was that race in Spa last summer where everyone pretty much crashed and only the top 10 actually finished the race. Right, 3 laps to go now as Formula Danny begins lap 25. He's only a second ahead of Tim. If Tim picks up a 3-second time penalty, we may have a race on our hands. But with...
Is Toffee going for a move?
Oh, he will have DRS. I think I might be slightly behind you in the stream.
He's going for it.
He's going to go down the inside. I don't think there's much Elsinger can do. He's on the older tyres. Can Toffee now have... Sorry, that's Myler. No, it is Toffee. It's Toffee. Yeah. Can Toffee now possibly chase down Corky? And Formula Danny unable to pull the pin from Timp. And I just think that maybe the super soft tyres were the better choice than the soft tyres.
Yeah, but they will wear out now pretty fast.
That's true. So maybe we could see Kane possibly having a late chance at Calcifer. There's 3 seconds separating Calcifer to Photon. And Photon...
Elsinger is going for it again.
Elsinger wants to get these final points. Myler's too far back, so this is the battle for the last couple of points in the race. Elsinger, can he do it around the outside? He can. Will he run wide? No, he gets it all neatly done. But look at this. Photon is closing in on Kane. This is the battle for 5th place. The last real battle for big points. As Kane, I think, is closing in on Calcifer, but he's doing it too slowly. But right, okay. So let's think about penalties then. Calcifer has 11 seconds of penalties. Sauron has 9. What about Kane? Kane doesn't have any penalties, so Kane will jump ahead. Photon has 3 seconds, so Photon will jump ahead. Flex's Marcia has 6 seconds. So Calcifer is actually going to drop down to 7th at the end of this. So this is really, really bad for Calcifer. Even though the safety car has helped him, it's going to catch him out in the sense that it brings Photon and Kane and all of them closer to him.
Toffee has overtaken Elsinga again at the straight.
Oh, okay. So Toffee up to 9th, but Photon getting very close to Kane as they head down into the Ascari chicane. Can he possibly have a go?
He will wait, I think, just for the straight to get the RS again.
See, I think even if he makes the move stick, Kane will probably jump him after penalties. But we are almost starting the final lap as Corky picks up a 3-second time penalty. I think he's got 5 penalties, Corky. No, that might be his 4th penalty actually, only his 4th. So, one more and then all of a sudden Milo will be into the points. But here comes Photon, he's got DRS, he's right alongside. Barney picks up a 3-second time penalty, but we don't care about that because Photon is going to move up into 5th place as we head on to the final lap of the race. What about Elsinga though? Elsinga has
going for
DRS.
I think.
Let's take the scene. No, he's going to back out. Just doesn't have that confidence under the brakes.
I think he's scared to crash him out at the last lap.
Yeah, that wouldn't be a fun scene. But meanwhile, your winner on the track is going to be Formula Danny. But after penalties, unless we've missed him picking up a penalty, Tim will jump ahead of Formula Danny. I'm fairly certain.
What about Sauron?
Sauron. Sauron has 9 seconds of penalties. So in fact, Photon will jump ahead of him. So Photon is going to finish 3rd at this race. But here comes Formula Danny round the Parabolica. He's going to win on track, but we'll have to wait until after the race to see how it finishes. Formula Danny will take the win. Here comes Williams Tim to take 2nd. Formula Danny does get relegated to 2nd. We can see that has already been updated. What about Sauron? Sauron is 3rd. Photon is upgraded to 3rd, but Kane will jump ahead of him. Calcifer has a 5-second time penalty for not serving the stop-go. Flex's Marcy will not jump ahead. Corky has a 5-second time penalty for an unserved stop-go, as does Elsinga. So the
got 4 points.
Toffee up to 8. Corky dropping down to 2nd. Can Myla possibly jump? Myla has a 5-second time penalty for an unserved stop-go. And Flex's Marcy only a 2nd down on Calcifer at the end of the race. So Tim, did he have 3 seconds? No, Tim did have no penalties. Formula Danny had 6. But Kane with his 2nd podium from his 2nd race, a good job from him.
What a recovery from these guys. Because they pitted at the 1st lap with me.
Yeah, but the safety car coming massively into their hands. But there is your winner. It's Williams Tim, who will take his 2nd win of ORL, followed by Veloce, Formula Danny, and I've almost forgot who came 3rd. Kane came 3rd. So let's take a look at the standings for a final confirmation then. Oh, as we skip that. So Timp will win ahead of Formula Danny. Kane had no penalties, but Velocity Photon, that 1 time penalty that he had, meant that Kane did jump ahead of him by a fair bit as well. Photon will take 4th ahead of Sauron, Calcifer, Marcy, Toffee, and Elsinga. Flex's Marcy, Toffee, and Elsinga, and Corky will take the final point. No one got 4 penalties at the end of that race. Sorry, no one got 5 penalties. So no one will be disqualified post-race unless the stewards feel that there was an incident that was important. But yeah, that's been this race. Guys, don't go anywhere because we will be back very shortly to go to interview our race winners. So on that note, let's go into Steam. Let me turn down the mic. Sorry, volume mixer. Right, guys. Also, let us know in the comments if there's any questions you would like me to ask our race winners.
Well, I'm gonna leave if that's okay.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for racing. And how the exams going?
I think good, but tomorrow will be rubbish because it's a very difficult one.
Okay, well, good luck first.
Yeah, see you.
Okay. Right. Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes. Oh, that was a fun race.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, God, that first lap was incredible.
Mhm.
Right. Oh,
Hello.
Hello.
hello. Hello. Hopefully I don't get that weird thing where my mic just mutes. Right, in that case, I think we can start. Okay, Tim, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, the first lap was incredible. Talk us through that.
Yeah, I don't really know what happened in turn one. I got like hit from behind. Well, I kind of braked very late because I didn't wanna. Well, my first target was to get Sauron in a start because I didn't wanna let Danny go and I wanted to stay with his Slipstream and DRS. But yeah, then I don't know really what happened. And then Crow got the lead from the start, and well, yeah, then Danny was kind of like ahead of me, and that was my only target to like just stay behind him. Yeah.
Right. And that restart, right? You might not have noticed, but you did. I really liked your restart because you were so slow. But behind you, there were so many people crashing into the back of each other. I think there were 3 penalties for collisions through the Ascari chicane alone.
Oh, okay. I didn't know about that, but that is like usually my strategy in safety car restart. So go very slowly, and because I can decide the speed when we're going. So yeah.
And
I didn't know about that.
when the safety, of course, it's not your fault in any way. I just thought it was kind of entertaining. But when the safety car did come out, you decided not to come in the pits. What was your thinking there?
I thought like I will lose all the track position if I pit. And to be fair, I was really pissed about that because I was gonna win the race much easier without that safety car because Danny was on mediums and I was on softs, and softs actually go in the end from lap 11 or lap 10 to 11. So yeah, that really pissed me off. And then when I saw Danny is P4 and after safety car restart it was P3, and I kind of felt like I'm gonna lose the win here. But then I asked for my engineer, does he have a penalties? He said 6 seconds, so I kind of knew like now I just need to finish without penalties. I win the race. Yeah.
Well, a great race from you, and you picked up your second win. So how is it feeling? And will we see you for the next race in Singapore?
I mean, yeah, winning is always fun and always good practice. And, yeah, probably you will see me next week as well.
Okay, great. And of course, again, thank you very much for joining us. Right, Danny, are you ready as usual? Oh wait, hang on. Oh, I did my mute thing again. Right, Danny, are you ready?
Yes.
Where did you get your penalties then, first of all?
Everywhere. I mean, I got warnings in the first corner. I got a warning once when I went into the gravel and lost 3 seconds. And I also got warnings in Ascari. Basically every single place I got warnings, but the funny thing is that I got my 2 penalties within the range of 1 single lap. Because, to be honest, this time I was mentally just too weak, and I'm not proud of that. I'm quite disappointed because also this is my first race that I haven't win in this competition ORL, and yes, when I saw Tim coming out from the pits ahead of me with soft tires, and I was like, how could I not think about the strategy? I didn't even consider it as a possibility, and then I knew that he will win the race, and I was like, I stopped recording because I knew that there will be no more action for me, and I also just start to be very inconsistent and annoyed and pissed off at myself mainly, and got penalties, locked up, and do stuff like that. And after the safety car came, which was a pretty good luck, and I think if I win the race like that, I wouldn't have been a lot happier, because it's not the race that I deserve to win today. But I'm very happy that at least the safety car could extend the amount of fun, and I got back in traffic again and had to make a few overtakes. And yeah, the first lap and the first stint was absolutely crazy, and again very clean racing from these guys, and I'm very happy about it, and really appreciate their fairness. And congratulations to Tim, because he was the man and the driver of the day, and he managed to win the race, which is a pretty big deal, and well done to him.
Yeah, and did you get caught out when, was it Crow who spun in front of you through the second chicane?
Yeah, he spun in Rog. He lost it, the car, he lost it alone. He broke a little bit too late, locked the rears, and then the car got very unstable over the curbs, and then the next curb hit the car as well while sliding, and it was just the top of the cake. He absolutely lost the control of it, and because of that I was broken out of Tim's TRS. But again, it's the thing that if I would have been the fastest guy today, I could have won the race, but it wasn't the case. Tim was the fastest, and it's a well-deserved victory for him.
Well, second still a decent result, and you and Tim have now had 2 great battles, one last time out at Spa and now at Monza today. So are we going to see you two battling for the win again in Singapore?
No. Of course. Of course.
Okay, well thanks again for joining us, and best of luck for Singapore.
Thank you.
Right, Kane, are you ready?
Yes.
Oh, let me just turn up your mic. Hang on. Right, just say like test.
Test.
Okay, that's good. Right, Kane, 3rd place. That's 2 third places in both of your ORL races, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. I think I got a podium on France as well. So I'm very happy with this. I honestly didn't expect a 3rd place in this race, to be honest, because I had a bad start. I lost my front ring on the first lap. I had to pit, and then starting all the way from the back again. And then obviously the safety car came out. I was kind of happy with that safety car, because it allowed me to get back in the race. And yeah, from there on out, I just tried to get into the points. I saw people making mistakes in front of me, or pitting, or having penalties. So yeah, honestly, didn't expect this podium, but I'll take it.
Right. Well, a great race. Are we going to be seeing you in Singapore as well?
I don't know yet. I'll have to see if I can get some, if I have some time for that race. I honestly can't tell yet.
Okay. Because if you do join and you get another third, the last person to do that I think was Muller. So you're in good company if you do make another third.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, a good race and a lot of points then. And thank you as well for joining us.
Yep. Thanks.
Soren, are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Cool. Right, Soren, talk us through that start, because you started in second and then when I looked it all got crazy and then you were down to I think 5th or something.
Well, yeah, my start wasn't very good. Unfortunately, I think that I was a little bit more too much cautious at the start. So yeah, I lost a lot of places, and well, then it was complicated to coming back. Yeah, I think in overall my race was a little bit frustrating.
And the penalties again, was it the same as Danny, just getting penalties everywhere, or was there one specific corner that kept catching you out?
No, yeah, I didn't have specific corners when I got. It was, yeah, overall. I really have to work on it if I want to be closer to a win or podiums.
And I think that's the first safety car of ORL. Did it play into your hands then, or would you rather it have not come out?
Well, at the start, I really wanted to show if I was able to finish with the soft. But yes, of course, when the safety car comes back, I start to struggle with the soft compound. So yeah. In fact, it helps me, and then I was able to take the super soft, and then I had very good fights, especially with the calcifer. So yeah, it was really fun.
Well, a great race from you, and will we be seeing you again in Singapore?
Well, at the moment, I don't know. Unfortunately, it will depend of classes. So I can know at the moment.
Okay. Well, we hope you can enjoy. We hope you can join us at Singapore, and best of luck if you do join us and in all of your other racing.
I hope so. Thank you very much.
Right, Myla.
Yes.
How are you doing, man?
I'm frustrated completely.
So, I heard that Corky was one of your friends from the social race. So, did you guys have a bit of a debate beforehand over who was going to beat who?
Yeah, he is a fast guy for sure, and he's in my yeah in my speed, you know, and I have my speed, and I knew that he can beat me for sure. But this end of this race was so terrible for me, and I can say at first in the race it was a lot of accidents there, so I really had 3 parts or 3 things where I really just tried to stay on the track and have no damage because of this accident in front of me, and so I lost a lot of time. And then came the safety car, and in the safety car time, in the beginning of this safety car time, there's a part you have to come down, you have to drive slow before you close up the gap to the safety car. So, and I missed that, and because of that I get a drive-through penalty. So okay, and then I decide, okay, I do it to the beginning of the restart.
Yeah.
What was really slow.
Yeah.
and yeah, and there was again a guy in front of me who had an accident and was on the right side of this corner in the wall, and I tried to drove in the box, and yeah, I had to cross him, and then I was still too fast in the box because of that, and then I get a 5-second penalty. So I was completely frustrated.
Yeah, understandably so, because who was it? Tim just did such a slow restart, because through the Ascari chicane I think there were 3 people who had collisions, so it wasn't just you. It was a hectic start to the race and a hectic restart.
Yeah, for me it wasn't funny. So I had no damage because of that. So for me, is it sure the first guys say how fast all the other guys have to drive in this moment? So okay, I know that. So I'm really focused that nothing happened to me in this moment. But yeah, you see, you never know what. I never think about it that the guy in the restart can stand on the right side of the corner. In the middle of the box, so it's it was funny, but congrats to the first 3 guys for sure, really fast. I saw the qualification time, what was it, 1:18.4? It was
something ridiculous, yeah, 18.4,
unbelievable fast.
6, yeah. So I've no
crazy.
idea. But will we be seeing you at Singapore as well then?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Right. Well, best of luck for that, and thanks as well for joining us today.
Thanks for the interview. Bye.
Cheers. Bye. Right, guys, so that concludes round 14 here at the Italian GP for Monza. Join us next week on Thursday for Singapore, and it's a street circuit at the end of the day, so it's going to be a very tight race. Is going to be, I expect to see some crashes and a crazy first lap. But until then, guys, I will see you later. Thanks again for watching, and see you next week.